friends of First of All Species. I'm Daisy Hyena. We're back with another episode of Winds of Change. Now, last time we were on our way to Palteus. We finally finished everything. And we all got together. We're on our way, ships, everything. And then we were met by everybody at sea, which somehow was a surprise. I have an issue with that. How the fuck you gonna think that somebody who knows you're gonna attack them is just gonna wait for you completely, right there. Do nothing until your ass is on them. Really? 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 Do you really think? Okay. So yeah, a surprise attack by the triumverant fleet. We lost a few, naturally. We found a few bodies, but we haven't found Morty or Valessa, which I take very strong issue with. We better find them, and soon. Also, Alex is injured, and he is in here, so, you know, we talked to him. We hope he's gonna be good. If not, fuck it. Anyway, would you like to continue the journey? Yes. After a few hours of waiting, I almost can't handle it anymore. It's impossible for me to rest when my friends could be in danger. Making my way to the exit, I cross my fingers, hoping that things are okay. Just as I'm about to leave, the door swung open, catching me off guard. I take a few steps back to avoid getting hit, letting out a sigh of relief afterwards. It's Ulrich, but that's not all. A few moments after he enters, Valessa and Morty follow. They're alive. What a huge relief this was. All the worry had taken its toll. We hug each other with big smiles on our faces. For a while there, I was scared of what might have happened. Thankfully, they're okay. I could rest easy as we move forward with everything.
Sorry for taking a bit longer than you thought. We've never been here before, so we got lost.
Yeah, and it was even harder because you're keeping quiet. It's hard to find people
Fair
who don't
enough.
want to be found, you know?
I release the hug and tell them that everything is fine. I was worried, but I knew that they were capable of surviving.
Can't believe how cold this place is. It looks so uninviting, too.
Yep,
Scary
almost the point.
Yeah, hopefully we can change that. The triumvirate seems neglectful, but why?
I shrug, unsure of how to answer that question. We're here to kill the triumvirate, not reason with them. I have a feeling this, among other questions, would remain unanswered. Dominic and Howell soon entered the shack. Which, by the way, is not a shack, it's a fucking house. Honestly, it looks like a fucking mansion to me, but what do I know? Followed by more of our comrades, we quickly fill the room. Gathering around the table, it's clear that it was time to plan.
The time has come for us to discuss what happens next. Until now, and due to a lack of time, we spoke vaguely, but we can delay no longer. This is what we have. We will need to push through the town square to start things off. Balteus is fortified by a large wall, so we cannot get to the library from the outside. This means that the bulk of the battle will take place within the city itself.
Okay.
However, we want to get to the library with as little resistance as possible. This is why we will have our created seers go in and cause a distraction. If they can lure the honor guard away from the town square, we can slip in. The honor guard cannot enter the library, so we will set up camp inside. This shack is dangerous, so we should leave it as soon as we are able. Once we're in the library, we can relax and prepare our final assault.
And what will that final assault consist of?
We are glad that you asked. Here is a bit of what we've been thinking. Dominic, would you be so kind as to reveal our plan?
Dominic nods and steps forward. Placing a scroll on the table, he promptly unfolds it. I can see that it's a map of Balteus, the entire city. Everybody gathers around the table, putting aside any other business. If the strategy at sea was any indication, I know this operation is in good hands. They certainly seem to know what they're doing. I can feel our morale rising. He starts to speak with certainty and confidence. It's impressive. They must have been planning this for a while. We all watch intently, curious to see what kind of strategy they have.
This is the main area of the city. Our goal is to ensure that the monarch has a clear path to the castle. That way she can slip inside and kill the triumvirate with minimal effort.
And training. I'm sorry, I am pissed about that. Okay.
Hal and myself will lure the honor guard to the town square. This is where the bulk of the battle will take place. It shouldn't be too hard. With the added might of our draconic allies, we'll have no problem at all. Pro will sneak away from the town square and infiltrate the castle. His job will be to cause a distraction, luring enemies away from the atrium. With that done, the rest should be smooth sailing for the monarch.
Sounds like a piece of cake, to be honest. Consider that castle empty upon your arrival. Causing distractions is totally a specialty of mine.
We know.
Alright, that takes care of Hal, Pro, and myself. The rest of you will accompany the monarch to the castle. Let's see here. I should have another map detailing our current area. The only way to approach the Triumvirate's castle is directly from the front. That is, unless you know a secret or two. This involves a hidden mountain pass. Using this pass, you can go around Balteus. It'll be much easier than sneaking through the city. Joining you will be Ulrich, Fortame, and Valessa.
Damek, if you'd let me join them, I could help out. Remember who tipped you off about this hidden trail? I can even use the Blade of Exodus if the monarch is in a bind.
Good with me?
Alright, sure. I have no problem with that. Sovi will accompany the group headed to the castle. They'll split up when they get close. Let's see here. You should emerge from the mountain pass right beside the castle. Because of all the distractions, your path inside should be clear, but I need Fortane to do something special for us first.
Me? Special? What do you need me to do?
Fake a heart attack, go.
I'll have you climb the castle, scaling the outside walls. Your job will be to get inside and ring the bell of retreat. If you can find it, it should make the honor guard stand down.
Oh, dope.
Wait, seriously? All of them?
Yeah, all of them. I'm putting a lot of trust in you here. Do you think you can do this for us?
Of course! Climbing is my specialty. I'll have that bell ringing in no time.
Good.
Hell yeah, let's do it.
The rest of you will enter the castle from the front. Again, your path should be clear if all goes as planned. If not, well, you'll have to fight your way through. But I believe in you.
Sounds good to me.
Ulrich and Sylvie, that's all I need, man.
Yeah, we can do this, no problem.
Valessa is there just for decoration, honestly, compared to them.
Glad to hear it.
That is all we've come up with. Does everybody find it acceptable?
Boom, let's go. Everybody nods, knowing their part. It seems like they almost thought of it all. With a strategy like that, victory seems almost certain. How will this butt fuck us? As long as I could defeat the triumvirate and that idol. Even if everyone plays their part, the end is still all on me. I do my best not to let them down, but part of me is filled with fright.
Alright, let's go outside. We'll head to the Grand Library as a group. If we can get in there without trouble, the rest will be easy.
The created seers should make is pretty easy for us. They'll lure the honor guard away from the town square. If they could do that, then we can slip in pretty much undetected. Hopefully they could survive that task. Why? They're gonna, be brain dead at the end of this. Have y'all forgotten? This operation would be divided into 2 phases then. Take the Grand Library, then take the Triumvirant's castle. With everything planned and out in the open, we exit the shack. Hope fills the air. For the first time in a while, we could do this. I smile at my comrades as we head outside one by one. The cold, uninviting air assaults me as soon as I exit the shack. It's like East Crown. I'm not sure how people could survive in this place. Well, not that there's many people here. It's mainly those suits of armor. I can hear everyone talking, going over the roles they were assigned. If everyone did what they were supposed to do, then we'd win this for sure. Of course, as long as I could destroy the triumvirate and that idol they're housing.
Sneak into the castle and lure everybody away from the main atrium. Seems pretty easy to me. The monarch will have no resistance at all.
And if I can ring that bell, then everybody will be safe. All those years of climbing is finally paid off. This is gonna be great.
Ulrich is quick to interject, putting any arrogance to rest before it could blossom. Thank you!
Look, none of that is going to happen if we can't take the Grand Library. We need to establish a foothold, a safe place to retreat to if things go south.
They all nod and stop the discussion they were having. It's true, though, without Haven, we're out in the open, completely unsafe. At least the first phase of our plan wasn't too complicated. I know we'd seize the library. I noticed that one of our comrades is carrying Alex. That's good. The library would be the best place for him to get rest. Are you sure? Wouldn't staying here and completely away from all war activity be the best place? Okay. Because isn't moving someone who's heavily injured really bad for them anyway? Fuck it. Okay. He's fast asleep, which is pretty surprising. He must be a heavy sleeper.
The city should only be a couple of hours away. We trust that you can all handle the cold.
Which, by the way, you're bringing out an injured dude into the... You know what?
We don't really have much of a choice, Hal. Let's get going. I think our goal is pretty clear.
Upon hearing that, we all start walking toward the city. I can see the impressive wall that surrounds everything. It's beautiful. However, I can't see anything past it. I have no idea what Paldeus looks like. We walk through the thick layers of snow and my legs start to tire out. But I'm not in a position to where I have any choice. Pushing forward is mandatory. After what feels like a small eternity, we finally arrive at the gates leading to Paldeus. The town gates and the wall are an amazing sight. Intricate details are carved into the stone. It's a work of art. Something told me the monarchy made this, not the triumvirate.
This looks amazing. This must be a remnant of the
Yeah.
monarchy, right? The triumvirate can't be this artistic. I know it.
Correct. This looks just as we remember it. However, Baltius wasn't always this cold. Something bad has happened to the nation.
Oh, I see. Like what?
Morty.
We're not sure. However, it is probably due to the triumvirate. It pains us to see how much they've defiled our former home.
Yep.
We used to live in Baltius. It housed the throne and our ruler. To see it reduced to a frozen wasteland, it is almost too much to bear. Let us head inside. We need to see what else has changed over the years.
Yeah. It reminds me of what we thought would happen to Valinor. Without the spirit idol, it'd wither away and freeze over like East Crown. We have since learned that was false. But what's happened to Balteus then? As we start to make our way inside the city, Dominic stops us. He looks a bit worried, and I can tell he's lost in deep thought.
Seers, please come forth.
A few moments later, a group of our seers step forward.
We don't have much time to waste. As soon as we get inside, you need to get to work. Lure the honor guard away from our path. Understood?
Of course. Your path to the library will be clear. After the fighting dies down, we will come and join you. It should be easy, so don't expect us to be too far behind.
I can't get over those fucking fingers.
Yes, of course. Thank you very much. Let's see, is there anything else to cover?
He turns back to face the rest of the group. Gulping, it's clear that he's fraught with anxiety. What the fuck is going on?
Look, we're about to do something that's never been done before. We're seizing territory from the triumvirate, right under their noses. much like they did to Mazeo. We're about to occupy Balteus.
So? Nobody
But
lives
that
here.
does not mean we are like them. We do what we do in order to gain our freedom. They occupied Mazeo, wanting to oppress us even further.
We all exchange glances and nod at one another.
I want you to all remember that as we press forward, war can blur the lines between good and evil. But I know where we stand. If you know that too, then there's nothing that can stop you. You are heroes.
Not really, but okay. Wait, nobody lives here, right? It's just the honor guard and the library dude. Is there real people that we're about to kill? Because that's fucked up. But with nothing left to say, we slowly make our way into the city. I could tell that due to Domic's encouraging words, everybody is happy. Encouraging? What? However, as we enter, nothing prepares us for the sight that awaits us. Howl immediately steps forward, taking in the sight before him. Balteus looks almost uninhabitable. It's a state of decay and death. I know the honor guard doesn't need a paradise, but this is crazy.
What have they done?
It's clear that Howl is hurt. This used to be the monarchy's home, after all. Hopefully there would be a way to reserve all of this. It isn't right.
This is, well, I certainly didn't expect this. I'm guessing it didn't look like this in your time?
No. Balteus was a paradise. This is unacceptable, Domic. We must find a way to fix it.
Of course. There's no way I'll let this stand. It's a bit of a shock, but our plan remains unchanged. Secure the Grand Library, then kill the triumvirate.
After he's done talking, we see a horde of honor guard suits walk by. We quickly run off to the side and hide behind a nearby building. I've never seen anything like this. The building is pitch black. Pieces of it crumble off almost like it's been burnt or charred. But it hasn't. I know a building can't die, but there's no other way to put it. Like its source of life has been cut off. It appears to be living on borrowed time.
What's going on here?
This is disgusting. Look.
He looks down, and we all look at his feet. We're no longer standing on snow, but ash and soot. I start to wonder if it was really snowing at all.
This is Alestia's fate if we leave it in their hands. They don't care about the land. They only care about themselves. This is proof enough that we're on the right side of history.
Mm-hmm. Everyone thinks they are. Hal turns to me and places a hand on my shoulder.
We suspect that this may be related to their dark idol, Monarch. Above all else, please prioritize its destruction.
I nod as previous visions start to repeat themselves in my mind. I was facing that idol with the blade. Everything is coming to pass. After our short talks, our attention is directed back toward the honor guard.
Seers, come here. I think this is our best chance to take action. With that group gone, our path to the library is clear.
Upon hearing this, they quickly group up in front of Domic. Our goal of seizing the Grand Library seems pretty obtainable.
Yes, sir. Should be easy enough to take them down. After they're dealt with, we'll meet you all in the library.
When is the other shoe dropping?
Good. Go around this building and attack from the other side. They'll be focusing on you, so we'll head in the opposite direction.
Perfect. Then we'll meet up at the library. If we don't make it, though, it's been an honor.
After exchanging a nod, both groups part ways. The created seers prepare to distract the honor guard. Domic points to a nearby road, signaling where we should run.
The Grand Library is right over there. We'll run on my mark, so just hold on.
After speaking, he immediately places a finger against his mouth. It's clear that we need to remain silent while the seers carry out their goal. We wait there in an intense silence, waiting to hear a clashing of swords. We all stare at each other in unease. We know that when they start to fight, some of them may die. It pains me that sacrifice was necessary in order to obtain our goal. But I know that their sacrifice would never be forgotten. My heart sinks as soon as I hear them start to fight. I hear screaming and steel against steel. My instincts tells me to run immediately, but Dominic has yet to move. I can see him wince every time the skirmish gets a little louder. But soon enough he makes the call and we're all running.
Now, go!
In our haste, we still make sure to be as silent as possible. The Grand Library isn't too far away. In fact, I can see it now. It stands tall and seems to be the one building that's not falling apart. As soon as we arrive here, we all let out a big sigh of relief. Don't do that until everything is done, bitch. We can still hear the fighting, but it's more distant than before. Though, through the screams, it's impossible to tell which side is winning.
What's going on back there?
I don't know. Let's just hope it's going well.
Doesn't sound that way.
For the honor guard, maybe. Hurry up. We need to get inside.
Can the honor guard scream? I don't know.
Shouldn't we wait for the seers? At this rate, it might not be much longer.
No, they can meet us inside. We can't risk running into more suits. That was just one group. I'm sure there's more.
Right.
They start to ascend the stairs, but Hal stops them.
Wait. The library seems fine. Why does it not decay like the rest?
Maybe because of that one dude? Everybody turns to face him, but nobody knows. Dominic takes the stairs back down and faces Howell.
I don't know, but I think this is a good sign. It means we can control or limit what's happening. Knowing this, we might be able to fix Balteus.
Or perhaps it's a bad sign, Dominic. Maybe our enemy has the power to harm Alestia itself. How do you think we can stand up against such a foe?
You're questioning that now, bitch? Everyone exchanges worried glances. But then their eyes find their way back to the blade on my back. It's apparent that conventional means wouldn't be enough to win. Nobody knows how to answer Howell, and an awkward silence follows. But then we realize it is, indeed, a silence. This is concerning. The earlier fight is over, but did the created seers prevail?
Hey, let's get inside, alright? Maybe the librarian knows more about this. We shouldn't stand around in the open out here.
Having successfully changed the subject, we started heading inside. Hal made a good point, but none of us were able to counter it. I doubt that the librarian will want to talk to invaders like us. It makes me worry about how we might get them to talk. Waterboarding! There was so much uncertainty and worry in the air right now. As we enter the library, I hope that our forces live through their fight. When we enter the library, I'm taken aback by what I see. Dust filled the air, and it seems like this place has seen better days. The only sign that someone has been here is that some books remain clean. Whoever's been taking care of this place only cares about the literature. I guess that's acceptable, since that would be the main job of a librarian. But it just seems odd. All the time in the world, and it's still quite dirty. There's some kind of weird apparatus in the back of the library. I've never seen anything like it before. It's almost awe-inspiring. My comrades all look around, staring at the same look of awe.
This is amazing!
I've never seen so many books in one place before. I wonder what they're all about. Should we take a look?
Bitch! We're in the middle of a war!
Maybe not. We're here for a reason, remember? Let's find the owner and see what they can tell us.
Hal steps forward, objecting before anyone else can speak.
Actually, there's a chance that the books could tell us even more. The triumvirate must keep them away from the mainland for a reason.
What do you mean?
The monarchy vanished in the blink of an eye. This we know for sure. People can be erased, but not culture. Signs of our time here would have remained.
So, you're saying...
Before he could continue, we hear a noise come from down the hall. We know the honor guard can't enter, so it must be the proprietor. Knowing that we need to take them hostage, we assume hostile stances.
Looking into the past is one of the best ways to learn. If we don't become better people, then we'll repeat the same mistakes. How fitting, then, that the old monarchy would focus only on the future.
Why is he related to Grys? But Grys was a wolf and this guy's like a badger. We all exchange glances, slightly confused.
They wanted to guide themselves to the perfect future. If it was possible to get there, then no cost would be too high. In the name of a better world, they embraced corruption.
After a few steps forward, the mysterious man comes into view.
Too often do we condemn others in our self-serving journeys. A bright future for the monarchy would have meant death for innocent worlds. The triumvirate chose to step in, as they have countless times before, to maintain balance.
Dominic interjects with a look on his face that I can only describe as the onset of anger.
We know what the triumvirate did to the monarchy. Hal told us. But like you said, mistakes are how we learn and grow. It's how we become better. If the option of failure is taken away from us, we can no longer call ourselves people. They can hide behind whatever reason they want, but they're wrong to control us. The ability to make these mistakes is our right, and I will not stand by while it's taken away. Corruption? Death? Nobody wants these, but without them, we might as well not exist at all.
Everyone nods and cheers Dominic on. The mystery man shrugs and keeps walking forward.
Restrain this man.
I expect to see the man put up a fight, but he doesn't.
You will experience no resistance from me, but on the other hand, you'll find no help either. Do what you must, but keep the library intact.
He gets on his knees and holds out his wrist. Hal makes quick work of restraining him.
Who are you? You know far more than most.
The man shakes his head.
Just a hoarder of knowledge. A man who preserves the past rather than erasing it. In exchange, the triumvirate gives me life and shelter.
Another one of their victims, you mean? Eternal life in exchange for servitude? Despicable. What atrocities did you commit in their name?
I created this library, a simple glimpse into the past. Everything the monarchy ever wrote is on these shelves. That was my job. Preserve the old history while creating a new one.
Huh.
And what new history did you create?
I wrote about the triumvirate and spread it everywhere. I made them seem like gods, like they were the creators of this world. As new life began on Alestia, they found my writing and believed every word.
Ah. Hal scoffs as anger boils within him. But before he could do anything, Pro interrupts.
Algus Fayer.
The man's ears perk up in a way that reveals he was reacting to his name.
That is the moniker I assumed, yes. I'm happy to know that the name is still remembered.
Algus Vier. The man revered as the greatest historian. I can't believe that he too was a tool of the triumvirate.
So everything the people believe is a lie that you created. Why would you need to go to such extremes? This is insane.
Look at how you and your friends reacted to learning the truth. It brought you here, prepared to kill those who gave you life. The people must never know the true cost of their creation.
I don't believe this. Hal, get him out of our sight.
Hal drags Algus away as the rest of us group together.
Well, at least he didn't put up much of a fight. I'd like to say that I'm shocked, but
yeah, me
I don't
either.
feel surprised at all. This journey has been full of revelations. This is just another for the pile.
Yep.
It doesn't really change much at all. We still have a plan. But it'd be stupid to attack the enemy in the middle of the night. Let's rest until the break of dawn and meet in the front of the library. Remember that we're safe as long as we stay in here. Hopefully the rest of our forces aren't too far behind. You're all dismissed. See you in the morning, okay?
Where are we supposed to rest?
On the floor, motherfucker.
I'm sure there's private quarters around here somewhere. And if you can't sleep, at least there's a lot of books to read. After the war, we should give this knowledge back to the people.
Yeah, I agree. The triumvirate can't hide this stuff forever. We finally have proof that nobody can deny. This is amazing. If we show them this, they'll accept our rule without question.
Damek smiles, his spirits seemingly lifted.
Yeah. Let's hope you're right. Have a good night, everybody.
With that, we're all left on our own. People scatter about reading books and exploring the library. I decide to look for a private room so I can relax and gather my bearings. Hal's about to murder that dude, right? Halen returns to the chambers of the triumvirate. Noticing the absence of Shane, they're a bit confused. They don't assume the worst and ask Halen to brief them.
Shane stayed behind to lead the naval attack. He plans to trim their forces as much as possible. Like you anticipated, they're arriving by sea.
Good. Then things are going according to plan. We'll have you wait in the atrium for their arrival. This means that you'll be our last line of defense.
I consider it an honor, but I have to say, I'm worried for Shane. His chances of survival are pretty slim out there.
He knew what he was signing up for. If he killed even one of the rebels, then he was successful. Focus on protecting this castle, Halen. That's more important.
Yes, of course. I'll make sure no one passes the atrium. If they try, they'll fall as quickly as they enter.
Thank you, Halen. It's important that they have a false sense of security. Don't give them too much resistance until it's absolutely necessary.
Yep, I knew this shit was gonna happen.
To win, they're more prone to slipping up. It's up to you to figure out when that moment is and take advantage of it. Even if it takes your life, you ought to prevent them from entering our chambers.
Halen kneels, complying without hesitation.
Yes, of course. My life for the triumvirate. I'll fortify straight away and wait for their arrival.
Halen strides out of their chamber with a sense of purpose. After he leaves, they turn to each other, displaying soft smiles.
Hopefully this time, things will be different.
Huh. Something did kind of strike me odd about the Algies dude. After finding a private room, I pace around in circles. The thing that kind of bothered me about what Algies dude was saying, badger boy, badger. Okay, anyway, he was saying that they came in to save the monarchy from corruption and themselves, like they had done before. Are they like planet hopping from, or I don't know, like, we'll figure it out. I've had nothing but bad luck when it comes to getting rest. Ever since we left Mazeo, I've been too worried to fall asleep. I try reading books, but none of them are able to capture my interest. Pacing the room, I basically succumb to the anxiety of assaulting my mind. However, and thankfully, a knock on my door soon returns me to lucidity. As soon as I open, Hal enters. He takes a deep breath, sounding both annoyed and relieved. I don't blame him, he's gone through so much in such a short time.
We finally put the librarian to rest. Alga's right. He certainly likes to talk a lot. Answers in the form of riddles. He simply stalls for time.
Fair enough.
It is rather peculiar, however, that he didn't resist. He won't help us kill the triumvirate, but he won't stop us either. As we locked him up, he mentioned his true allegiance was to history. Whether we win or lose, it will still be his job to write about the aftermath. So no matter what happens, there will be a new history to record. An interesting habit.
Yeah.
Living through others rather than yourself.
Yeah. He looks around the room, a hint of sadness on his face.
There must not be much else to do in such a lonely place. We feel sorry for him, but there is really nothing we can do. He gave us shelter in exchange for silence.
Fair enough. I ask Hal how we know we can trust him or not.
We don't, but it does not matter. He's locked up and unable to contact anybody outside. Any chance he had to intervene has already passed on.
So as far as we know.
Our foothold is established. We've successfully taken Baltian soil, Monarch. While not our main goal, this is a major victory for all of us.
I nod. He's right. Nobody else in history has gotten this far. We stood a real chance at winning here, and it felt amazing. I thank him for the status report and for checking up on me.
Of course, we wanted to make sure you were comfortable. We can imagine that rest is hard to find under these circumstances. Might we suggest spending some time with your friends before the dawn?
He's right. If I can't sleep, then that's probably the next best idea. But I wonder if our bonds are strong enough to warrant some time together. This could be our last night alive after all. They might be more protective of their time. I guess there was no harm in checking. I see him out of my room with a new goal in mind. Turning back to face the vast emptiness of this private room, I wonder who I could invite over. This would be a good night to make some final memories, just in case the worst comes to pass. There's a knock on my door, more urgent sounding than I anticipated. It couldn't possibly be time to launch an attack, it must be something else. As soon as I open it, Sophie steps in the room, a look of anxiety on his face.
Sorry, I just needed to get away from that atrium, Monarch. Everybody keeps telling me what to do, and it's getting on my nerves. I have no problem helping out your cause, but it's my choice to do so.
Yep, it gets annoying.
I followed enough orders while I was under the triumvirate's control. Joining you and your army, I thought I'd finally be a free man. I mean, I guess I am. Ignore me. I'm just complaining.
He shrugs and starts wandering around the room. I tell him that it's okay, he shouldn't have to follow orders here. I give him free rein to do whatever he sees as the most useful.
You know, that's why I like you. You're the only person who lets me do what I want. Everybody else keeps me at arm's length, commanding me. After all I've been through, I think I want to be the commander. I always thought I've been meant for more than what I was given. When I met you, and you accepted my offer, I knew I was right. At first, I only planned to help you until we took down Halen. But we've grown so close, and your comrades are so accepting. I've never felt such a sense of belonging. A sense, perhaps, of family.
With a smile, he takes a book from the shelf and opens it up.
You know, I've been reading about the monarchy. They seem to be more similar to the triumvirate than we thought. The triumvirate demands perfection. The monarchy sought the perfect future. And it seems like neither group cared about what costs they paid. But it's impossible to pinpoint the moment the monarchy was imprisoned. Many of these books are dated with a system I'm unable to decipher. So how advanced was the monarchy when the triumvirate took action? Were they silencing a real threat? Or perhaps a potential threat? One is more acceptable than the other, but neither are just.
That's true.
I find myself wondering what would happen if someone opposed the monarchy. What if somebody got in the way of them and their perfect future? Would they be killed, just like enemies of the triumvirate? And furthermore, how did they possess foresight to begin with? You inherited it from them, but where did they get it from? Sorry for rambling. There's just so many questions.
Thank you, Sylvie. He's actually articulating a lot of the questions I had. So, I mean, Sylvie's always been, like, thus far, has always been my favorite character.
It might be best to just forget the monarchy ever existed. Start over, from scratch, under the banner of the rebellion. Why reclaim a world for someone who would be your enemy? The triumvirate controls us in an attempt to keep everything pure. The monarchy, too, controlled their subjects, just for a different reason. We want to live free, right? Free to do what we want and live how we want.
I nod.
Why settle for the lesser of two evils? Forget the triumvirate. Forget the monarchy. Carve your own path. Follow none, tread by others.
I shake my head, unsure of how to react. This world didn't belong to the triumvirate, but not to us either. We were simply their creation, given free will by the monarchy. This seems to have been a conquest meant to reclaim their world. We may not be alive to see it happen, but we should rule it like they did. I have the blade too, and I was from Valenorth. I always looked toward the future. All those things considered, I was uniquely qualified to rule in their stead. All those things considered, I was uniquely qualified to rule in their stead. I couldn't just use everything they gave me and then throw away their ideals.
You don't understand.
He throws the book aside and pins me back against the wall. I stand strong, meeting his gaze almost as if issuing a direct challenge. His grip is strong and I can tell he's really passionate about the subject.
If you let them control your actions, then you'll never truly be free. No matter who you align with, you'll inherit ideals that harm, like poison. You need to look to the past, not the future. Avoid the mistakes they made.
I mean, that was kind of my plan to begin with, like, pick the stuff that I liked, I guess? I don't know. But, like, I was always down for freedom rather than just new slavery. After a few moments of silence, he releases the grip on my body. He turns around and looks away as if he's ashamed by his actions. I mean, like, the only thing you should be ashamed of, Sylvie, is having me pinned up against the wall and not fucking...
I apologize, Monarch. I let my emotions get the better of me. Around you, I feel almost free to express them.
I tell him not to worry, and I accept his apology. His allegiance, at its core, has always been to the world. He just wanted me to take care of it when it was in my hands.
It's probably best if we forget this ever happened. I'll get back to what I was doing and see you in the atrium. After all, we don't have much time left. We've come to the end.
Before he leaves, I make sure to tell him he made a good point. In the future, if his views ever differ, I request that he feel free to speak up. A ruler needs some people to help them walk the right path, myself included.
Very well.
With a nod, he leaves the room. I pick up the book he threw and put it back on the shelf. As time goes by, I feel the weight of the world rest upon my shoulders. After we won, if we won, the real work would begin. We had to win the people over and figure out how we'd handle Alestia. Because of Sylvie, I'm now filled with doubt. Was there any right way to rule the world? I don't know. I really don't. And all we could do is avoid mistakes of the past. But that only paves the way for us to make new mistakes. All I could do was hope that these new mistakes didn't harm the world. I meant well, but at the end of the day, that doesn't really count for much. The triumvirate and the monarchy both went well, and look what happened. As I'm browsing random books, I hear a knock on my door. It's Howell. I let him in and ask him how things are going. I don't know why I asked. It's clear what the answer was.
They all worry. They fear that death will come for them. An understandable fear, however. This is the end of our journey. We will face more danger than ever before as we move forward. Algus, however, isn't making things any easier. He plants seeds of doubt in many of our soldiers, Monarch. Words are a writer's greatest weapon. A gag would be effective.
Bet. Let's go. Find something kinky in this bitch. It's unclear if this is a joke, but it gets a smile from me regardless.
He says that we are the true enemy, the monarchy. He says that if you knew the truth of our people, you would run. You would no longer fight for us, as we endangered innocent worlds.
Huh.
It is not true, however. His mind has been twisted beyond repair. But many soldiers are starting to doubt. What if he is telling the truth? Could they save their lives by switching sides in the final moments?
That is unacceptable. We couldn't afford any turncoats.
The monarchy made mistakes, as any group of people do. Like Dominic said, mistakes are how we learn and grow. Bad choices, while bad, are our right as people to make. They cast us aside in a prison, taking away our ability to choose. And in doing so, they took away our ability to live in freedom. No matter our crimes, this punishment is far too severe.
I agree, and I could never be turned against the monarchy. The triumvirate imprisoned them because they endangered worlds? A hypocritical thing to say, as they hurt Alessia at the very same time.
But, we must say, it was a battle that we lost fair and square. We were so focused on our own future that we lost sight of everyone else's. It doesn't surprise us that our perfect future came at the expense of others. If it leads to happiness in the end, how can you decide what cost is too high? This is the line that all tyrants seem to walk in the early days of their rule. Many have fallen to the wrong side, Monarch. We trust that you will not.
Yeah, shouldn't trust shit. I am a very poor judge of character and very bad maker of choices. I nod. I don't see myself stooping to the level of our enemy anytime soon.
We know that Dominic wishes to gift all this knowledge to the people. These books capture almost the entire history of the monarchy. This may not be a good idea. They may read of our mistakes.
Duh.
And those mistakes may just inspire future insurrections. We think it may be best to destroy the monarchy entirely, burn these books, and remove the spirits from this body.
Oh, so he's just talking about not just the books, but like 86 himself. Wait, what? That was certainly extreme.
These books shouldn't exist at all, Monarch. We don't know why the triumvirate keeps them lying around. If our oppression was their goal, then they should have destroyed them. Right now, they exist as a testament to our imprisonment. As long as they remain intact, they will be only a harmful memory. They should be destroyed. Allow my people and our history to rest.
At the beginning of the shit, didn't you want everyone to know about you? This is all coming out of nowhere, but it makes sense. He is the monarchy embodied. This must be a horrific sight for him. His entire culture stolen, imprisoned, just like him and his people.
This is why we ask that you look toward the future, Monarch. Do not concern yourself with who we were, or what we were like. Order this library to be destroyed. Live life on your own terms.
I don't don't know what to say, so I just stare at him in silence.
This started back during our journey into East Crown. This body could not survive the cold. The spirits inside helped, but in doing so, they died. We are weaker than we were back then. Weaker, but more in tune with everything around us. Almost like a weight was lifted from our shoulders. We would like you to lift this weight even further. Please, use that blade. Absorb the souls inside of us. Leave one behind. And let us feel what it is like to be alive. After the weight is gone from our shoulders, lift it from the world.
He looks around the room to the various books scattered about.
You must absorb these souls and destroy the books. Only then will the monarchy be truly removed from history, as our mind will be better for it. So too will the world itself.
I don't like that, no. I don't know how to respond to what he's asking of me. He wants me to commit mass genocide against the monarchy. This is all happening so fast, I'm unsure of how I should respond.
You would not be killing us. We have long since been dead. It would be an act of mercy upon a group of oppressed people. We can no longer live. The triumvirate stole that right from us. But if you can take our spirits and use it to power the blade, maybe it will give you the edge you need to win this yourselves. We may have lost, but that doesn't mean you need to as well. These spirits may linger, and the books may remain, but the truth of it is, we're dead. We need to be buried. Our very existence is born from a denial of that death. If you leave one soul, we will use this body to fight for you. We may fall in combat, but nothing of value would be lost. We cannot help our own people, so we must help yours.
I knew that eventually we'd have to tackle the nature of his existence, but I didn't expect it to be confronted with it on the eve of the final battle. He wants to accept defeat, have the souls removed, and the books destroyed. If I did that, there'd be no physical remains of the monarchy. I had the spirits inside me, but I was still my own person, able to live free. We're talking about the extinction of an entire group of people. I don't know.
We understand if this is too much to ask, Monarch, but we think this is the right course of action for everybody. Don't be scared to hurt us. You cannot harm what is already dead. The spirits would be more useful in the blade than this body. But like we said, one can remain to aid you in fighting. What do you say, Monarch? What will you do?
See, my issue is he wants to destroy the books. That shit don't sit right with me. So, if it was just the souls and shit, I probably would have absorbed him. But since it's not, I'm leaving you. I couldn't do it. I couldn't be responsible for their extinction. Even if they were already dead, I couldn't be the one to end it. I let him know that fact, and I could tell he's immediately upset.
Very well, Monarch. It is a mistake, but it is your mistake to make. After all, you still live, free to make your own choices.
With a stern look on his face, he storms out of the room. I can tell that I let him down, but I think I made the right choice. I turn back to face the room. I keep telling myself that fact. I invite Damek over to my private room and he looks around astonished. It's almost like he's never seen anything so fancy before. Or maybe he didn't expect such beauties out of Balteus.
What a sight, Monarch. I assume this is where Algius would normally sleep, but he's not going anywhere in his current state. I talked to him for a while and he seems unstable. Years of serving the Triumvirate will do that to you, I guess. Even after I told him what Hal was, he still lives in ignorance. Well, maybe ignorance isn't the right word. He knows what the Triumvirate is and still chooses to serve them. You know, I wonder how the people will react when they find out.
Yeah.
Algius knows and chose not to rebel or fight back. Maybe our victory here will be just the start of another battle. Not literally, of course, but we'll fight to show everyone the truth.
He shifts, almost like he's feeling a bit uncomfortable.
I have to ask you something, though. If the people don't respect your rule, what will you do? Will you work hard to earn it? Or will you demand it through fear?
I'd work hard and earn it the right way. I think every good ruler needs a mix of both. I'll earn it through fear. I'll earn it the right way.
Good. That's what I like to hear. We can't resort to methods used by our enemy. If we did that, then nothing would change in the end. Just don't go down in history as a pushover.
Hell no.
Even the best ruler needs to put their foot down, you know. Trying to give everybody what they want would just drive you mad.
Hell, I know that shit. You don't gotta tell me. He shrugs, realizing it's probably a good idea to change the subject. We need to secure victory before deciding what we do with it. It's clear that he wants to avoid talking about the upcoming battle.
It just makes me wonder who the triumvirate really is. They aren't gods. I doubt they made the Blade of Exodus. There's a chance that they're just like us, using power to achieve their goals.
Yeah?
And they say that power corrupts. You've heard that, right? What if they were just like us in the past? What'll happen next? Will we just go on to become tyrants that the people despise?
It's a possibility. I shake my head. We wouldn't stoop so low.
Nobody starts their journey at the peak power monarch.
Yeah.
The triumvirate wasn't born into this role. They fought for it. It's even likely they took down foes of their own too. But what foe would that be? And what was their goal? What I'm trying to say is, I think the blade should be destroyed. Once we achieve our goal, we have no use for it anymore, right? If you keep it, you risk relying on its power. I don't want to see what that does to you, Monarch. Not if it's even anything close to what it's done to our enemies. I don't see any reason to keep it around after the war is over. So tell me, if you get the chance to destroy it, will you?
Duh. Wasn't that the plan the whole time?
Good. There's no place for a weapon like that in this world. I feel like whoever wields it will be led down a dark path. I just hate to see that happen to you. I really would.
He looks away from me sad.
I just want to know what kind of hands the world will be left in. I'm just asking you these questions because I'm scared, you know? I might not survive the battle. I might not live to see your reign.
That much was true. Even my survival wasn't guaranteed.
I'd hate for us to die, especially after how far we've come. But we're about to fight the triumvirate. It's a real possibility. All we can really do is ensure that we fight with no regrets. Now, I have my fair share of regrets, that much is certain. But with your help, I'd like to put some of them to rest. I've been wanting to for a while, but I'm just scared.
Yeah. Scared. I think I know what he's getting at.
You know, shaking a hand is such a simple thing.
Aww.
Yet I cower in fear whenever somebody offers it to me. Even the thought of it is enough to fill me with anxiety.
I mean, we could just skip over hands shaking and just go straight to hand job.
But you know what? So does fighting the triumvirate. Despite that fact, I'm standing strong and ready to fight. So, what do you say? To the fall of the triumvirate?
He holds out his hand and I can see it shaking. I ask if he's sure. This is a big deal after all.
Of course I'm sure. It's time to get over this silly fear. You know, we'll be dealing with a lot of people after this is over. Not being able to shake the hands of our subjects. That's not good.
Yeah.
After all we've been through, I just think you deserve the honors. And I can think of no better toast than a toast to the fall of our enemies. So, like I said, let's do this and move forward as a stronger people.
Hell yeah, let's do this, my man. Yeah, stronger people. I shake his hand with a firm grip. If he was scared, he doesn't show it.
This is all thanks to you, Monarch. It really is. You told me to leave behind those memories of my past. At first I thought it would dishonor the memory of my mother. But I'm not forgetting about her. I could never do that. I'm just forgetting about the pain I felt on that fateful day. And with that gone, I can handle anything that comes my way.
He leaves the room with the biggest smile on his face. I know that this was a big step for him and he's incredibly proud. I'm proud of our little Australian wolf kangaroo man. If he used that pride on the battlefield, then our enemy stood no chance. Just like he said, the triumvirate would fall, and we would be victorious. As I'm lost in thought, a knock at the door jolts me awake. Without hesitation, I open it up and Ulrich steps inside. He seems calm. He's seen tons of battles in his lifetime.
Hey, Monarch. I just wanted to come see you. We won't be getting much sleep tonight after all.
Oh, word? It's true, and I don't blame anybody for it. Especially Ulrich. We were fighting his former masters. This would be harder on him than it would be for us.
I can't stop thinking about our visit to Alarinthia. You know, I broke your nose and I feel awful about that. But I couldn't let you get in the way and compromise our plan. It needed to come down to just Pro and myself. It was the only way that we could guarantee our victory. I guess I came here seeking forgiveness. I feel foolish, though.
Nah.
Your forgiveness was implied when you removed that curse from me. I mean, you wouldn't do something like that if you resented me, right? But still, having it implied, it's not the same as hearing you say it.
I can tell what he's after, so I tell him he's forgiven. To be honest, it's the last thing on my mind right now. It secured us our draconic alliance. It was worth it.
And that's the thing, though. Forgiveness shouldn't come so easy. When you're on the throne, you'll need to learn how to punish. I lied to you. I hurt you. I shouldn't deserve your forgiveness.
Then why did he come here asking for it? He wants to be kicked in the face. I tell him that he deserves forgiveness because he meant no ill will. He did what he did out of necessity to help further our cause and win.
I guess what I'm trying to say is, you're lucky it was just your nose. In that moment, I would have done whatever I deemed necessary, Monarch. And given the opportunity, I would do it again. I would go as far as I needed.
Bitch, wasn't this whole plan of yours put into motion so you could earn my trust, keep me alive, and get us an alliance? If you're saying as far as you're willing to go, would you fucking have killed me?
Do you still think I'm worthy of forgiveness? Who knows what I might have to do during the final battle? The fate of the world is in the balance. I can't hold back.
Haha. What's gotten into him all of a sudden? He's acting odd, but I try not to bring it to his attention. For all I know, he's just anxious about the upcoming battle. But still, I tell him that he's forgiven. I can't hold him accountable for things he hasn't done. What he has done, however, he's more than made up for.
As long as we're both on the same page, I expect the same from you. Don't hold back in any way. If I'm in danger, don't stop to help me. You have your goal.
He wants me to just leave him for dead.
I know what I was getting into when you removed my curse. I'm vulnerable. For the first time in thousands of years. But while I'm vulnerable, I also feel alive, Monarch. It's amazing how much the possibility of death can motivate us. In some ways, that's what drives us to accomplish our goals. Without some sort of end, there's no time for us to seize.
He would know better than me. I don't think even he knows how old he is. At that point, the years would start to blur together. His demeanor makes sense now that he's facing his mortality. His actions have consequences that could affect the rest of his life. In the past, no matter what he did, he would just outlive repercussion. I tell him I'll do it. I'll leave him behind only if it's necessary. I do have my goal, but part of that is ensuring my comrades stay alive. The pledge seems to satisfy him enough, and he changes the subject.
Thank you, Monarch. I knew you'd be strong enough to make the tough decisions. Since we met, I've seen nothing but a capable ruler in you. And that was before the attack on the Rebel HQ. Remember back in Valinor, when we were at Peregrino? You've been leading this world for much longer than you think. And I have to say, I agree with your choices. Turning Peregrino into a barracks to protect your homeland? Anybody who cares about their people that much is a great leader.
He smiles at me and places a hand on my shoulder.
When I look back on times like that, I realize how far we've come. Complete strangers to loyal comrades, ready to kill false gods. I never would have expected this, but it's not an unwelcome change. I always pledged myself to Damek, but the tables have shifted. The sword arm meant for him now belongs to you, Monarch. I will protect you and do my best to help you liberate this world. It's the least I can do after all. You removed this curse from me. Now that I can die, it's almost as if I know what it's like to be alive. To live without feeling alive, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. Yet the triumvirate hands it out so freely. They disguise the tightest shackles as the path to freedom. And in our blindness, we accept it without hesitation.
I would only accept immortality with one condition. If there was one thing, an Achilles heel, if I had one Achilles heel that would just end it immediately, I would accept immortality. Because then, if I ever, get tired of all of it, I could just boop, doop, done. As long as there's at least one way out. Even if it's, super fucking obscure. Like if I touched, if I had a bite of rhubarb pie, my head would just explode. That would be fine. Because one, I hate rhubarb. And two, then I would have it out. It'd be messy for the waiter, but, I'd just leave, a huge-ass tip before I take a bite. He shakes his head as if throwing away thoughts of the enemy. A moment later, the hand on my shoulder is removed.
The rebellion, however, strives for true freedom. Salus and Damek, we have them to thank for everything. Even you wouldn't have realized your full potential without them.
Yep. That's true. It was Salus who broke Valinor's non-partisan stance. He helped seize the blade and deliver it to me. He knew about my power. He may or may not have known about the monarchy, but he knew enough.
It feels weird saying this, but you might be my first real friend. Those are hard to come by when you're serving the triumvirate, and harder still to come by when you close yourself off to the world. I'm not used to friends. I'm used to people who take advantage of me. Whether it's my strength or my sense of honor, they've all been used. When people learn who you are, they might try and use you too, Monarch.
Oh yeah, they have before.
But when it comes to you, I know that my strength and honor aren't misguided. You can trust me to have your back in the final battle and beyond. I promise. For once, I found a cause I'd be happy to both live and die for.
That's good. He smiles a real, genuine smile.
Let's continue this after the battle, alright? Unfinished business is just one more reason to survive. In times like these, we need as many of those as we can get.
Yep. I nod and see him out of my room. He seems a bit different, but I don't blame him. Anybody would change when given the ability to die. I'm just thankful he's staying optimistic about it. Makes me realize that he wanted it. It wasn't a hasty decision. And with that optimism, I know he'd survive and live a long, happy life. I invite Pro to my room to spend some final time together. He has the dangerous task of infiltrating the Triumvirant's castle. There's no telling what would happen, and I can tell that he's scared.
So, I guess this is it, huh? I always thought that I'd be ready, but now that we're here, I feel such apprehension.
Trust me, it's like that with everything, man.
I know the layout of their castle based on past reconnaissance, but when we stole the Blade of Exodus, they weren't expecting us. They know we're here now. For us, this will be a purely uphill battle.
He's right, we can no longer use the element of surprise. We had our strength and our smarts, but would it be enough?
Look at me, freaking out. I don't mean to bring down your morale. Let's change the subject, alright? Is there any wine in this place?
Nope. He looks around the room and is quickly let down.
Of course there isn't. You know, I thought it'd be a given. August is all alone, with nothing but his books and imagination. If there's any type of person who'd live off of wine, it'd be him. It's a lonely life being a writer. It really is. You pour so much emotion into it that you almost run out. Everyone thinks you're giving them the cold shoulder, but you're not. Writing is art. Nobody questions the secluded painter, you know? But the second you close yourself off to write, you're troubled. So many people see it as a joke of a career choice.
Like they don't for a painter? I have done all these things. Man, they're all art in their own respect, and they all require madness. Okay? They require madness.
I almost let that get me down when I was younger. They told me that a writer could never make a decent living. I could have easily given up. But instead, I created a legacy.
He lets out a loud sigh.
And that's what scares me. Even when I give up the swindling life, that won't be enough. Everyone will remember me for who I was, not who I am. And let's be honest, I'm not one of the good guys. I stole secrets, sold them, and ruined people's lives. Look what I did to the rebellion. That's unforgivable.
He looks away from me and shakes his head. Change your name, dye your one tuft of hair red, and then leave.
I think I might die during the attack, Monarch. There's no place for me in your new peaceful world. Even if I changed, the harm I did will always haunt me.
He turns away and I see him tremble a little in fright.
I want to help you make this world a better place, Monarch. But you don't understand how many people I've wronged in the past. If they seek revenge, they might just target you and all of my friends.
So?
And I don't want anybody to get hurt because I was a bad person. I could turn a new leaf, sure, but that doesn't mean my enemies will. If I stay by your side, you and all of our friends will always be targets.
Then just go, vibe, be your own person, man. I put a hand on his shoulder and help him turn around. So what if his enemies tries to give us hell? We could handle it. Yeah, I mean, if we're dethroning God, then who the fuck is Mr. Merchant who is cheating on his wife? I don't give a fuck. If the rulers of the world couldn't take us down, how could anyone else? Exactly!
You're right.
We're all one big family in this together until the end.
I just fear that the end is closer than we think. I don't know what I'd do if I lost any of you during the final battle. I lost my family once. How can I expect to handle that again?
Bro, I do it all the time. People come and go out of my life. That's how life works, man. You try to keep them staying as long as you can, but shit happens. I tell him not to worry and that everything will be fine. We have a solid plan and I have the Blade of Exodus. There wasn't anything we could do to stand a better chance at winning.
I guess that's true. Sorry. I was just freaking out. That seems to be a running theme out there in the atrium. It's impossible to look death in the face and have no regrets.
I mean, I've done it.
But if you want me to help you rule after this war, I will. Anything you need, I'll always be there to serve you, Monarch. Hopefully, I can earn a pardon for all the laws I've broken in the past.
Duh. That would be easy. He's already done a lot to help us. He was responsible for our Alarinthi alliance, hands down. He's done his best to atone, and in my opinion, he succeeded. So I pardon him right here and now. On the dawn of our final battle, he'd become a new man. No longer a swindler, but a trusted servant of the new monarchy.
Monarch?
He looked shocked, almost in disbelief. But rather than question it, he nodded, smiling.
Thank you.
I sent him off, but not before telling him one important fact. Any enemy of him is an enemy of the monarchy and will be dealt with. He thanks me yet again and leaves with a resolve stronger than ever before. Wait. Oh, yeah. Alright. A knock sounds at my door and I open it without hesitation. Morty is there and he looks a bit upset, so I invite him inside. Looking around the room, he lets out a loud, anxious sigh.
I'm gonna be honest, Monarch. I'm scared. Terrified. I don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, climbing the triumvirate's castle? That's insane.
We climb the grand tree together.
Not to mention that the entire battle hinges on my success. I have those metallic claws, but I don't know how much that'll help. Their castle is probably made of stone, like this library is.
Yeah, that is true. He starts pacing around the room with extreme worry.
What if I fall? What if I get shot by an arrow? If anything gets in the way, I might not be able to do this. I require extreme focus, you know. This is too much.
I know you can do this, man. Come on. I can imagine that climbing during a battle is hard. Normally, the only danger he'd have to worry about is falling off. But during this, he'd be a huge target for any archers nearby.
Sorry to come here and panic like this. It could end up being our last night together after all. There are probably way better ways to spend it than this.
He stops pacing around and stops right in front of me. Taking slow breaths, I could tell he's trying to calm down. I let him have his time, and he's back to normal pretty fast.
Okay, 14. You got this. You're gonna climb that tower and ring the bell of retreat. You'll help win the battle and return to Valinor as a hero.
Ah, damn it, he's gonna die.
Trust me, I never forgot that you appointed me as the Elder. I'll do my best to lead Valinor in the right direction, I promise. But if I don't make it, you'll have to find someone else to lead.
Bro, I forgot that you were the leader of Valinor. Fuck.
I know you're gonna tell me not to worry. I know you're going to say that everything will be fine. But that's not true. We all need to be realistic here. There's a chance that we could lose this war tomorrow. There's a chance that all of us could die. A really big chance. We're not immortal. We need to face the facts, not live in denial. They're all out here in the atrium with so much confidence. But I know that deep down inside, they're scared too. We all have something we're afraid of, you know?
I really can't think of anything. Like, personally, I have never been afraid of death. What I'm afraid of in terms of death is how much is gonna hurt. Because I know it's gonna hurt. I just don't care about the actual dying and afterlife and that. Fuck it. It is what it is. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. I don't give a shit about that. It's how much it's gonna hurt. That's the only thing I don't like. So this really don't fuck with me. He steps forward and wraps his arms around me. Aww. I can feel him tremble. I return a hug with a tight squeeze.
You know, it's not death that scares me, Monarch. It's the thought of never seeing you again that pains my heart. I don't want to lose you. I've never been so scared in my life.
I tell him that I'm not planning on going anywhere. After the war, we could settle down together and be happy.
You can't be certain of that, though. Just like I can't be certain that I'll survive. All we can do is try, and hope for the best.
Well, if it's any consolation, if you die, I mean, I'm just gonna start fucking Sovi. Like, immediately. No downtime at all.
These hoes ain't loyal. So, promise me one thing. No heroics, okay? No grand acts of sacrifice. No trading your life. This world needs you after the war. I need you.
He starts shaking less and we break the hug. I agree and tell him I'll try my best to comply.
The thought of a world without you is almost too much to bear. I love you. I'll always love you. I just hope we get a happy ending. After all we've been through, I think we deserve it. Don't you?
Yeah, I nod. I tell him that I love him too. Gay. A smile appears on his face and he immediately calms down. I don't want to lose him either. I'm filled with all the same frights.
I guess we'll find all of this out in a few hours anyway, right? It's almost sunrise, and the battle shouldn't be too long. Let's change the subject. I've worried enough.
He strikes a thinking pose and remains silent for a few moments.
Oh, here we go! If we win, we'll have a huge party. A party that the world will talk about forever. We can give everybody Mazean apples.
Hell yeah, let's do it! I smile, being happy that he's happy. I tell him that we will have the biggest party the world has ever seen. And if we try our best and work together, we'll win this battle with ease.
Sweet! Then I can't wait. I'll let you get back to what you were doing, Monarch. This isn't goodbye after all. We'll be seeing each other again for sure.
Yep. He leaves my room with a smile, a direct counterpoint to how he entered. That brings me a sense of ease. We needed to have a clear head right now. It's almost time for the attack. I should make a wise use of the time I have left. Alright, last one. I invite Valessa into my room since she seems unable to get sleep. That seems to be the case with almost everybody. We were too worried to sleep. She scans the room, taking in all the sights. It really was an impressive place to behold.
This room is pretty cool, Monarch. Makes sense that you'd get it too. Must feel good, being royalty and all. I'm pretty confident. After hearing Dominic's plan, I get to follow you to the castle too, so it makes me happy. You can trust me to have your back if anything bad happens.
Dope. I think out of me, Morty, and Valessa, beforehand, before all this happened, Valessa seemed to have been the number one, fighter. Let's hope it doesn't come to that.
I've been practicing with those daggers I got from Mazeo, actually. They took some getting used to, but I think I can hold my own. Not that those suits of armor require much to take down.
It's true, they were pretty weak. The triumvirate focused on quantity, not quality. Hopefully that would be their downfall as we proceeded.
To be honest, I'm really scared that we might not survive. I mean, victory usually comes at a cost, but what will we pay? If I make it out of this without my friends, I'll just feel so hollow.
Well then, just hope you die. Bro, you're gonna lose someone no matter what.
I want to help fix Mazeo, but I don't want to do it alone. It's up to us to help undo the damage inflicted by our parents. With you on this throne, I think we could do it pretty easily.
She seems fixated on helping Mazeo, almost obligated even. It makes sense, since she feels that our families are responsible for a lot. When I took the throne, I'm sure I'd be able to help her out. It's a good cause.
I really need to stop thinking so far ahead. This is the eve of our final battle. I should focus on that. Getting lost in thought on the battlefield would be the death of me.
Yeah, you're right.
So, let's just enjoy this moment, shall we? This might be the last time we're able to hang out. I hate to tarnish it by freaking out and acting stupid.
Freaking out and acting stupid is the title of my channel, bitch. Where have you been? I tell her that it's fine. I enjoy her company regardless. Besides, I'm sharing a lot of the same worry. We're in this together. When we met up to launch the attack, we'd have no idea what came next.
Well, At least I don't feel so alone anymore. Fortin is always so carefree, no matter what happens. Talking to him, you'd never guess that we could all die here.
I mean, that's good.
Before I stop being so gloomy, can you promise me one thing? It'll make me feel a lot better, and morale is what we need right now.
Okay. I nod, but it's really dependent on what the favor entails.
If I do end up dying out there, can you help repair Mazeo? I just want to see a happy nation. It's gone through so much. Our parents heard it, so we should be the ones who mend it.
Duh. I nod, that's definitely something I could do for her. That is, if I survive. But I don't display such doubt right now. It's best that I try to look strong and resolute for all my allies.
Good. Then we can move on to better things. You know, I've been thinking about how far we've come. I've seen so much, and I feel like a totally different person. I wonder what would have happened if things were different. What if your induction ceremony wasn't canceled? What if you never got that deceiving vision? Who would we be if not for all that's happened so far? I mean, we were simple residents of Valenworth just a while back. But now we stand in Balteus, ready to fight the rulers of the world.
Yeah.
I wouldn't believe it if I didn't see it unfold right in front of me. But, you know, I'm not sure which version of myself I'd rather be. It's not an easy thing, knowing how twisted the world truly is.
Yep. It's a tough call. I don't know which version of myself I'd rather be either. In all honesty, I do believe in multiverse theory, and I know that there are trillions of other me's existing on trillions of different timelines in different ways, and some that don't even exist at all. But my only solace is, as long as I'm not the worse off version of me, I'm good. Like, fuck! It makes me think back on where I started and where I am right now. Putting the whole journey into perspective, I realize how I've changed.
Obviously, we can't go back and change anything, but it's just weird to think about. And it was all out of our control. Let's hope that after this, we can take things in the direction we want.
Yeah.
The people will be free to live as they please. They'll never have to lose their homes or comply with tyrants. If that's the end goal here, then I'd say our changing was worth it.
Yep. Thinking of it that way, I agree. I'm just glad we haven't changed too much. With how gray things can get during war, some people can commit atrocities. I tried my best to be a just ruler, even if I wouldn't be able to please everybody.
Thank you so much for inviting me over, Monarch. I feel a lot better than I did just a few minutes ago. I guess I'll see you when we gather to launch the attack.
I nod. That time was fast approaching. I see her out of the room and let out a huge sigh. Talking to my friends for maybe the last time. It's crushing me. But if I didn't, and they perished, I'd regret it forever. That's the excuse I give myself for enduring this pain. Turning to face the big open room, I wonder what's next. And we'll find out in the next episode! So, summation, we did take over the library. This new badger dude seems interesting. I wonder if Grys didn't die at the tunnels, like if there would have been some sort of correlation. Because there has to be some sort of callback, because Grys had that giant-ass lamb, and then this dude had a different giant-ass lamb. So, who knows? I definitely agree with Sovi. I don't like how Hal wanted to erase history. Dominic, I'm glad he kind of got over that, hand-shaking thing. Ulrich, you know, I wish that we could have had the other option to remove the curse after this battle is over. but it is what it is. Pro, he's good. He's a cool dude. Hopefully he doesn't die. I have a feeling one of our guys will die. One of these on the bottom of the screen is totally gonna go. Everybody in the comment section, just vote who you think is gonna be the one to die, because there is gonna be someone. I just know it. Anyway, if you like what you see, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe so you can see my content in the future. We're almost to the final battle! Also, if you have any game suggestions or you just want to say hi, leave it down in the comment section below. I'm DC Hyena. Catch y'all in the next vid.